Hello guys from the Music Interview Corner. Today we're here in LA with Lit Soul in their very own rehearsal place. We just had the pleasure to exclusively listen to some songs. And now we're going to do an interview with the guys. Hi.
Hello, my name's Rob Chevelle. I'm a lead singer, rhythm guitar player, Lit Soul.
Ty Dennis, drums, and I sing here and there.
Cool.
Steve Sampson, I play guitar and that's all I do.
Lead guitar player.
Oh, lead guitar player, yeah.
Shredder.
And you're the lead bass player, right?
I am the only bass player.
Yeah, so the lead bass player.
Yes. My name is Carl Raether. I play bass and I sing.
I think it might be the second.
Hold the mic up higher so it doesn't look like I'm looking down there, okay?
Oh, really? Maybe we should.
I mean, unless you want me to.
You know, I learned that I get sometimes more attention and more interview time if I go like... No, okay. First of all, guys, how did you come up with the idea for your band name? And is there a certain meaning behind your band name?
Yeah, you know, some years ago, I was in some other bands and I wanted to go do kind of my own project band. And I started writing all these names. I'm a poet too. I have a lot of poetry. So I just had a piece of paper. I want a new band name. I just wrote 20 names down and I kind of just scratch, got down to like 3, 2, and came up with this one. So to me, it means like a soul on fire, basically, Lit Soul.
Why did you guys want to become musicians?
Wow. Oh, just a split answer. I remember Saturday Night Live when I was a little kid, the Rolling Stones came on, and it blew me away. It was just like, Mick Jagger goes over there and licks Ron Wood's lips, and it wasn't like, I'm nothing against that. It wasn't really that, but it's like, I remember that, and like Mick Jagger, what he's wearing and all that stuff, and I was thinking to myself, because I like Motown, right? I like Motown before that, and then later, rock came in, and I saw that, and I was like, I kind of want to do that.
Everybody talks about that. The old dudes always say the Beatles in 1964. Everybody says that. Yeah, why do you play? Ed Sullivan, the Beatles, 1960. No, you're saying the...
Well, that's just, this was like late 70s for me, but yeah.
Actually, my father's a drummer.
A lead drummer.
Lead drummer. Yeah. All drummers are lead drummers. So there was always drums
Here we go.
in my house. Drummers everywhere. So I kind of inherited it. Yeah.
Cool.
And he does it well.
If anyone should be.
I've heard that.
Yes, no, absolutely. For myself, A, I was born a musician, and B, I saw Johnny Cash when I was like 4 years old, and I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I knew right then and there, and my parents will testify, from there on out, give me a guitar, never stopped.
Cool.
And the whole way through. Johnny Cash.
Is that high enough?
No, that's right about here. Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. I heard it when I was a little kid, and I just haven't been the same since. So.
He's just not right up there.
Not at all.
Now maybe we can talk about your musical influences. You have, I see this here, this Doors jacket.
Oh, that's not fair.
Yeah, I think the Doors, as I have heard and guessed today, they are a big influence for you guys, right?
Well, he speaks for himself. We have a whole Doors thing, but we like a lot of music. But for me, yeah, I really dig the Doors a lot. I like the band Him, I like Danzig. I like all the classics, Sabbath. I mean, when I was a kid, I just used to lay down on the floor with speakers up to my head because I didn't have any headphones and literally just crank volume 4, kind of a thing. So, I like all music actually from Slayer to Pet Shop Boys as long as it's good music,
And what were your biggest musical influences?
Oh, God. 80s one-hit wonders and Motown, the Beatles. I mean, my parents got me a clock radio when I was a kid, like a digital one, so I could tell time. So when they said, be downstairs for dinner in 15 minutes, I knew when 15 minutes was. But then I realized that there was a radio on it. And, so like, I don't know, I can name and sing along to all the one-hit wonders, and that's kind of where it started. And then the older kids in my neighborhood discovered hair metal, and someone played Appetite, and the rest is history.
This is wild. Like, I never even knew these things. I hang out with these guys, a lot, and I'm learning stuff. This is really cool. Okay.
Wow, in our interview, exclusively.
The whole Jagger.
Yeah.
And what was it for you, Steve?
For me, in chronological order, Zeppelin, Sabbath, Priest, Maiden, Van Halen, Steve Vai, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Anthrax, Metallica, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Pantera. That's And then throw some country in there, like I said, Johnny Cash, people like that. You know, there's some off kind of stuff, and a little bit what he said about Motown. My dad was actually into Big Chill kind of stuff, and believe it or not, I know a lot of the words to Temps and Tops. It would surprise you. You'd be like, he knows that shit? What? So yeah.
I know,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Not at all, dude. Those guys all sang it live. Danced
Whoa, my girl, my girl.
James Jamerson on the bass for all that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
And Ty, you even worked with Robbie Krieger. Can you tell us about that?
I still do work with Robbie Krieger, and I worked with Ray Manzarek with Robbie Krieger for a long time. For 9 years for both of them, and some of that was with my bro's hero, like Ian Astbury too.
From the Cult.
Yeah, from the Cult. That was Doors music, doing this thing that we did. So you asked me about that?
Yeah, if you want to tell something about that.
Or your influences too after that, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that changed my life, that gig, especially meeting Ray Manzarek. I think about him every day. Ray Manzarek. I have a picture of him in my desk, of this particular picture that we're in Australia. So he had a major impact on me, just musically, but in lots of different ways, and how to just the personality of him particularly. But yeah, I still playing with Robbie. We're playing this weekend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we still play the Doors songs. But as far as influences for me, like I said, my dad's a jazz drummer, so I grew up hearing really good music when I was a really little kid, like Steely Dan, things I remember hearing, Steely Dan, Herbie Hancock, really great records were playing before I even knew really what it was. I have really memories of hearing like Asia by Steely Dan, stuff like that when I was really young.
Do you guys know what Steely Dan means?
Yeah, it's a sex toy.
It's the original silver toy. Yeah, Steely Dan. Yeah.
Guys, now you learned something new. Thank you so much, Lit Soul.
Glad to help. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess.
You didn't know that, did you?
No.
Steve uses one of those.
I'm scarred.
Oh, wow.
Steve's got one.
Do you want to tell us a bit more about that? Maybe our audience wants some details. Our audience likes details. Yeah, a lot.
I only use it to beat him up. That's so there you go. There you go.
Ah, okay, so it's a multi-purpose toy, basically.
Exactly. Man, if you really don't like somebody, you can,
I have to try that, I guess. I had a problem with the stalker recently, maybe.
I swear to God.
On March 16th, you're going to play in the Rose
Yes.
in Pasadena, and you're going to open for Wild Child, one of the coolest Doors tribute bands. What does it mean to you?
You know, I mean, like I said, I'm a Doors fan, and you know, it's all big circle. You know, it's like with Ty and you know the Doors music. Now we get to open up for Wild Child, which is going to be fun. And I met Dave Brock, and actually I played drums way back in the '90s in a band, and we actually opened up for him back then as well, at a place called FM Station in the Valley. But that's the first time I met him. But you know, he's been doing it since the late '80s. I mean, he's got it down. If you close your eyes and listen, it sounds like the Doors from '68, '9. You know, so I think it's a good match, and. I was thinking about pulling out a Doors song, but we probably won't. Let's do our own music, but you know, yeah.
Please.
I know.
Please no.
Well, you don't want to be that band, you know. Hey, I'm open for you, so we're going to play one of your songs. Oh, God. You want to compare set list first before you do something like that. But, when you're playing a gig and you're open for somebody who's specialized like these guys, you know, doing the Doors stuff, you really don't want to go up just playing songs unless you communicate this first with them.
Sorry, I feel like I'm neglecting you, Carl. You want to say something else to that? How does it feel for you?
To open for a Doors tribute
Yes.
band? I think it's cool. You know, I love the Doors. So, you know, I'm looking forward to see some guys get up there and make it sound like the Doors and look like the Doors and play like the Doors, and we'll have a good time.
And you were just saying that we were talking a bit about tickets, because on February 23rd, you're also going to play here in the LA area at Petie's place.
Correct.
And what do fans have to do to get tickets to your gigs?
Petie's is easy. It's a $5 cover. You know, it's to support the bands, the club. So you pay there. And by the way, I'm forgetting his name right now, but there's an acoustic guy. He's really good, and he's opening it up at 8:45. And he's solo acoustic guy. And then after that is Lit Soul, and then after that is Stonebreed, and then after that is Nightmare, which is an Alice Cooper tribute band, and they do it really good. So that's going to be an awesome night. And also, Petie's has been, if anybody's watching this who knows Petie's, it's been revamped. They raised the ceiling, they extended the stage, they have a new sound system, lighting, everything. So we played, this is probably our 5th time we played there. So I'm excited about this one because it's going to be the best sound, you know. So that's, you get the tickets there. For the Rose, it's $20 online from anywhere or at the door. If you get it from the band, it's also $20 for one, but it's also only $30 for two. And you can get it on, if you are on Facebook, you see posts that we have or Eventbrite. You can also go to litsoul.com, my PayPal, that kind of thing. So I'm sure we'll put a link here somewhere. Yeah.
We will. Maybe that's a great gift for Valentine's Day for your loved one.
Yeah.
2 for $30.
If you got on a date with Rob, you get your ticket for free. I'm joking. I am joking.
Now I know how I could get a free ticket. Thank you. Yeah. And I know you're working on some new songs right now. Will you play any of your new songs at your concerts?
Yeah.
At the Rose and Petie's place?
Yes, we'll definitely play a song called You're Not Well, which we played only once at the last gig we had in December. And then we're working on tonight. After next thing we're going to start working on is a song called Straight Into the Sun. And I'm positive we're going to play that at the Rose. Hopefully we're going to have it ready for Petie's.
What was your inspiration for You're Not Well?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Why are you looking at me?
Yeah, I was looking forward to asking that.
All right. So let's see. In a nutshell, one thing that's also awesome is Litsoul's been around probably 8-9 years now, and you know, usually I've written 90% of the music, but now with these guys, we're all writing music together, and Steve's come up with some really great riffs. So he came up with some riffs, and we all kind of put it together. And Carl came up and helped us with the bridge, and you know, I put the lyrics and the melody down, and Ty does his thing, and you know, it really comes together great. I'm really happy. But the song, Steve came up with a riff, and he came up with one line in the song as well, and it was about somebody we might know in the community who's a little bit witchy, you know, and. You know, so I kind of wrote it loosely around that. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to write a song about a witch. So I wrote a song about a witch. So there you go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now I will listen to it differently. And you're also working on a new music video. Can you talk about that already, or is it secret?
No, it's cool. You know, if you go to our litsoul.com or you go to our YouTube page, Litsoul with the number 1, you know, there's a lot of playlists there. We got a lot of videos. You know, have some pretty epic videos, you know, Time, Money, you know, it's, you know, some really cool ones up there. We have some indie ones as well. So this one's going to be a little bit more indie because the footage I took myself with a camera similar to that. Yeah. So I won't tell you what the footage is, but I took a lot of footage. And I know a guy who actually sings in another Doors band called Strange Days. He's in Seattle. And he's a really good editor. So I sent him all the footage, had to upload it and all that kind of stuff. So he's kind of putting it all together. I gave him totally 100% artistic go for it with the footage. And the song is called Outcast. And it's on the most recent album called Your Crusade. So it's going to be a little bit tongue-in-cheek, kind of funny. A lot of our videos are a little serious, so this is going to be a little bit more comical.
And when will it be released?
You know, he's really fast. He's going to send me the first edit supposedly tonight or tomorrow. So knowing him, I could probably have it by the end of the weekend. You know, so he's been working about almost a week and a half now. So yeah.
Cool. We will definitely put a link to this video in the description for you guys. You're also working on an album about love songs.
Oh,
When Hearts Pull Daggers. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. It's a bit on the back burner, but Allison, she helps me a lot. We got to give kudos to Allison. Totally, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's here again.
Yeah.
You saw her on camera sometime.
Yeah. And but you know, through the Litsoul catalog, you know, it was about 6 or 7 albums, you know, and I write songs on my couch with an acoustic guitar. It's singer-songwriter stuff. It's not just all heavy, you know. So each album has a few mellow songs, you know. So I wanted to make kind of a best of or all the kind of acoustic songs put together, and I decided to call it When Hearts Pull Daggers. And we have a new song that's relatively new. We haven't finished it. Nobody's ever heard of it. It's called When I Die. Yeah. And I have to go in. There's a bridge part where I hear a vocal, and I'm just struggling with what lyrics is going to be. But everything else is done. Everything is recorded. Everything is totally done, except I have to go do that. So once that's done, I'll put it all together, and we'll release it. So, you know, my priorities is what's on the plate right now. So, but it will be out. I will attest it'll be out this year.
Cool, guys. You have something to look forward to.
Yeah. They relatively don't know much about it. Steve does because we recorded one song together. When I Die, he doesn't really have any drums on that. Oh. And so it's kind of like a lot of songs from the past and a couple new ones. So we're just kind of putting all together.
But we did work on it down at your place, and we had concluded it is possible to do this in another form.
That's true.
We
And
did.
which is the other form?
With drums and all
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
More
one,
heavier.
yes. I didn't want to give away too much,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah. So one was one way, and the other way includes the whole band because we found out, wow, this is easier than we thought.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's cool because a lot of heavy bands, they make at some point acoustic albums that you can do it the other way around. That's really cool.
Totally. And then, these days, some bands are, releasing EPs, which is kind of like 4 or 5 songs. So I feel that coming up, because we now have we got 3 strong songs right now, an acoustic song. So maybe do 1 or 2 more and maybe be another EP coming out soon.
What is your guys' biggest dream for the future? Maybe we can start with you. I feel I'm neglecting you. I'm sorry. But I can hold the microphone really high for you if you want.
What's the question?
Oh, yeah, I'm even spoke in this direction. What's your biggest dream for the future with this band?
Make a record.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I think
make a
that's going to come true as we have just heard. You're lucky.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll start with that, making a record.
Just taking it to the next level. I'm here because I just love playing music, I mean, the music industry's changed a lot through the years, and I just like playing live, and I like writing music, And I'm really happy to play with these guys, I've always played with really good bandmates, but I think this is the best lineup that we've ever had. And I think we're the most gelling and get along and just write really good music. And this new stuff is just like, to me, it's just the cream of the crop, So, I'm happy to, I want to play more Canning Club gigs and open up for some other bands, that kind of thing. Like maybe, a little more higher stature bands and stuff like that and get our name out there. And that's kind of my thing, and make an album and just have fun, That's what I want to do.
Continue playing, like better places. Like the Rose is a really nice room that we're playing, opening for bands, doing that kind of thing. That's what I would like for us to do more, besides the cool music we're doing.
For me, it's pretty simple. Write really good songs, record really good songs, get the music on movies, TV, radio, video games, whatnot, and, well, have some mailbox money for doing what we love to do and what we do best. That's really the end game for me. And to add on to what you were saying about that you felt like it was the best lineup, former members have come to me personally and been like, dude, this is really the best lineup he's ever had. I mean, this is coming from former members, of all persuasions and whatnot. And they're like, seriously, you guys really have something cool going on.
Maybe a funny question. What is the craziest thing you've ever done on tour?
Well, God.
My favorite question.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about gigs and stuff like that. Craziest stuff. I mean, like embarrassing, like weird, like just crazy, just like microphone going out, tripping. I don't know. It's like I look at the high points. Just to me, I trying to answer your question, but to me, I like when you're having a good gig. You know what I mean? It's like everything is just rolls, it flows. You can't do anything wrong. The other than the pendulum, shit's going wrong all day long, and it's a train wreck. So you just try to keep it cool. I'm sure he's got some. I know he's got some crazy.
Oh,
stuff,
yes.
that's for
Yes,
sure.
Ty. What do you have?
No.
He probably can't say.
No.
We are
No, I'm
privileged to know a few things. But
Oh,
we
great.
can't-
Maybe if he forgot, you can tell.
Yeah. Later we'll have one after. I'll tell you.
All very professional.
Yeah.
I always conduct myself very professionally.
That's right.
I can see that, yeah.
He does.
And I heard a very loud laughter from this side, Carl. So.
Yeah, I was weighing what to say and what not to say.
Oh, yeah. Tell me what you didn't want to say.
Oh, I'm not going there. But I'll go with drunkenly playing on a children's playground all night in Leipzig, Germany.
On the swings?
On the swings and like the monkey bars and everything. Me and the singer from this band I was on tour with in Europe once, and like a couple of friends of the band, and the 4 of us were just running around drunk, like acting like little kids, like the slide, the swirly slide, and yeah, it got to be dawn, and it was really fun until the hangover kicked in the van, going back across Germany. Then it was like 2 blobs passed out in the van.
Was that drunk or drunk?
Drunk, like really drunk. Yeah. We're all kind of heavy drinkers on that tour.
Thank you for sharing. And do you want to share something, Steve?
Well, 2 things. Number 1, I'll share if you share. What's the craziest thing you ever done on the road?
Oh, yeah, I was actually on tour as a stand-up comedian. Shall I really share? So I was on tour with two guys. We did music comedy. One was a really great comedian. The other one was an amazing guitarist. It was in Hanover in Germany. We were in this really expensive hotel.
Okay.
And it was cold, it was November, and there were some homeless guys outside. And my comedian friend, we had just started working together, said, is it okay for you if we share a room? And I was like, oh my God, is it like a casting couch? But it wasn't, because he wanted to give the other room to some homeless people because it was so cold. And then I went to the reception and I caught the attention of the guy while my friends were getting two homeless guys into my former room.
Okay, as far as crazy goes, nice and productive. I feel ashamed now.
No, please share.
And that better not get cut out of editing. That stays, man. That stays. You hear me? Yeah. Okay. Worst thing I did, I'm not going to say where or when, but we got done playing and we was on the road. Obviously, that's what this is all about. We got done playing, went back to the hotel, and I got naked and jumped off the roof into the pool.
Do you have a video of that?
Involving God.
And the cops are called and a whole bunch of talk happened.
You got more attention for that.
Well, I had a PD towel around me and stuff, and when we explained to them what was going on, they're like, just don't do it again, okay? So, needless to say, I went back into my room. But yes.
Nice. Do you have a video of that?
Yeah.
You should put that in a music video.
Yeah, back then I looked good, man. Shit, you kidding?
Maybe that would be good for the You're Not Well video. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That would go into the not well thing. Yes,
We're going to probably do video of that. We need some ideas. So yeah.
Oh God.
Cool. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Is there anything else you want to say to your fans or to anyone else out there?
Soul, rock and roll, come see us at Petie's February 23rd and the Rose March 16th with Wild Child.
Yep.
And thank you so much. Let's give it up for you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, guys.